Hello! Today I'm talking to you about the Keyhole Hot Springs in British Columbia. This is a picture of the hot springs, which is, of course, the main attraction of this place, although visitors have described the top two springs as being too hot to sit in. The other 33%, however, have been a pleasant attraction for quite some time. This is a picture of the Keyhole Falls themselves, the name coming from the opening, which kind of looks like a keyhole. I don't know that I see it, but it's there. That's what the name is from. Um, I found posts from as early as 2014 talking about how the location had blown up in popularity, as well as some fun tidbits about the area. So here they are. Over 2,000 years ago, a nearby mountain, Mount Meager, produced the largest volcanic eruption in Canada in the past 10,000 years, and both Keyhole and Meager hot springs are products of that eruption. They can also possibly erupt again, so that's fun to look forward to. One comment says that Mount Meager is the last in the chain of huge stratovolcanoes, which actually starts with Mount Shasta in California. It seems like before people were learning about this location in the early 2010s, it was really only a dangerous construction zone. Several major landslides throughout the 1900s that even killed four geologists. Like, not a great place to be. But anyway, returning to the present, where, like I mentioned, there was a noticeable increase in popularity after people started sharing the spot on Instagram and, posting about it, whatever. And with more foot traffic, there came other problems. For one, the springs are on Lilwat land and have cultural and spiritual significance for the Lilwat people. So, again, doesn't seem like a great place for lots of people to go visiting, but there's even more. Back in 2016, 2017, food habituation of black bears was noticed, and that caused site closures. And then in 2018, there was an annual season closure put in place to prevent further habituation issues, as well as restore grizzly bear populations. This picture you see here is one somebody took just after arriving at the hot springs, after which they quickly moved somewhere else. But it shows that the closures were working, at least when they were put in place. There are also plenty of other wildlife that are affected by the springs and the falls, using the area for nutrients and as a migration corridor and everything else. Just a very important part of the land, really. And on top of all this, more people obviously means more trash. The original reason for site closures was due to irresponsible camping practices. And while these people may have cleaned up after themselves, certainly not everybody does. So nearly every comment I read complained about the amount of trash now on the paths, and it's very easy for that to impact the surrounding ecosystem. Um, but unfortunately, the trail is now completely closed. But at least that means that people won't be throwing their trash around or disturbing the wildlife or their habitat or interfering with the traditions of the native people. Ultimately, this spot, like any other hot spring, is a really special place to be, but was never meant for loads of visitation. It only took a handful of people not cleaning up after themselves to mess it up for everyone, and it's a blessing that there were some stops put in place so no irreversible mistakes were made. Everything about the spot is better off without humans, and perhaps we can enjoy the pretty pictures after we've left no trace.